Welcome into Footium in the States, baby. We are here. Season 4 is gone, and it was a huge season, okay? Going into season 4, things weren't looking great, but some of us got promoted. Some of us didn't once again, but we were in there. We were in there. That's all that matters. It came down to the last match day of the season, and hey, we still won that cash money, baby, so it wasn't too bad. But hey, season 5 is already here, okay? What long little transfer window. It was like a couple days. I blinked my eyes and it was like, whoa, season 5 is already here. We're already into it, but we're going to get into that. We'll talk about the end of season 4. We'll talk about some changes going into season 5. And hey, the games have already kicked off. So we'll get into a little bit of that too. But I do want to say greetings to Boston Sean in the chat, baby. That's right. You can chime in on X and or YouTube. Join the chat, join the conversation. Tell us about your Footium team. We're trying to grow this Footium community. And
our guy Cam. Boy, do I have stuff for Cam.
Like MFL, but wish he knew about Footium so you could DJ. And hey, that's why we're here, baby. You want to learn about Footium?
Jay Blaze, I've tried both of these platforms. Okay, somewhat similar. Footium is better though, for one reason and one reason only. Footium gives you cash that you can then do whatever the heck you want with. MFL gives you stuff that you have to spend with them again, and you can only bring cash out if you're selling players. So instead of like as the season reward, you get basically the opportunity to buy more players, and then you could like sell those players theoretically. But it's an extra step. It doesn't like it's just better to have cash in your pockets, you know. I think Footium is I don't know, more competitive, at least from what I was seeing. Now, I was playing MFL like when it was also pre-release, so it wasn't, full scale, and it might be a little bit different now. But it was just like nobody was really playing it. I mean, at this point, I'm in Division 7, which is like almost the lowest one. And everybody's freaking playing. Like everybody's in this thing. Everybody's set on their teams. Everybody's trying to win, and it's hard now. And it's hard and it's tough.
Everyone needs a Martin Ojeda forward card.
Yeah. Martin Ojeda.
I will say, not for nothing, man. Our boy Bob Flynn is over playing on the MFL streets, and he's degenerating hard. So for Bob to get sucked in like that, there is something good there. But hey, it's all the same.
They're very similar games.
Yeah, it's Web3, baby. There's a place for everyone and everything. And you just try it all out. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But either way, we're glad you're here to be part of the conversation. But before we get into the end of season 4, let's talk about these changes to season 5, because we do want to celebrate season 5 a little bit, because we are here. Look, as always, they release a nice Medium article. It has all the fancy information, all the prize, all the league information, everything you need to know to get ready for the season. Biggest things that basically happen, this change between seasons, is the mentality nerfed, and that's one of the biggest things. So they've reduced the impact of extreme mentalities, the ultra attacking defensive stuff, to address unintended usage and encourage more balanced tactics. So this changes everything, because I know going up against maybe teams that were better than you can kind of park the bus a little bit and kind of squeak away with a win a little bit easier, or vice versa. You just kind of pummeled the bad teams, the zombie teams, and then racked up that goal differential, which killed me last season. So I am all kind of for these changes a little bit. How did you think this was a needed change, Chris? Did you notice the changes?
I don't know. Already? I can't see what anybody else is doing tactic wise. So like I can see what formation they're in, but I can't see what they're on ultra attacking, ultra defensive. So I'm sure, the boys with the behind the scenes access have looked into it and seen no problem. From my perspective, I've been on defensive. I'm still going to be on defensive. I'm going to die in my grave on defensive. So I swear, every time I go off of defensive for any reason, I concede lots of goals. Really? Like, I never score anything. I concede a ton. Like, even if I'm playing a zombie team, I'll lose if I'm on attacking. It's wild. So yeah, I don't particularly know. I don't know how much it's changed tactics. Like, I can't really tell if people are like, because I can't tell what they're playing, so I don't know how it's working. But I mean, this is one where you kind of have to have the back end data to know if it's a good or bad thing. You know what I mean? So hopefully they're doing good things for the community. No. I would hope. Why wouldn't they?
And I do, because I've been messing around, because like I've been lucky enough to be around for a lot of the games now since like they're at 4 p.m. So like, and I've been playing it, and like I'll watch the games and I'll switch the tactics, and I'll specifically kind of watch like how the ball is moving during the game. And I've noticed that going on defensive, you'll get in the opposition's box and you'll get in and around it, and dangerous chances, but then you'll never actually shoot the ball. Today, because it was like 0-0. I was playing a zombie team, and I was like, okay, we're being creative. We're like all on their side of the field. We're getting in the box, but then like no shots were taken. Halftime, I switched it to balance. I didn't even go attacking. I switched it to balance, and I immediately just the shots started pouring in, and I was like, what the heck? And I was like, so yeah, you can go defensive, but trying to squeak away a win might not be as easy as before. Because yeah, they really go defensive.
I did get outshot 11-7 today on defensive, but I did win, so it's all good.
Hey,
it's all good in the hood.
That's all that matters. So it would be cool. You kind of mentioned that if you could see the other team's kind of tactics and what they were doing, a little bit, that would be fun.
At least post game,
Yeah.
At least like, what did they get me with? Because like you can't adjust to anything that you don't know. So you can go in with a game plan, and Boston Sean's like he goes in with a game plan. But like you don't know if you're doing the right thing. You have no data to come back and say, well, that was wrong, and other than just results based, which is not really the best way to do it. So, I would think this would be set up as like almost like a rock paper scissors game where like one thing beats the other things, So like ultra defensive it beats defensive, but it like loses to ultra attacking or something. You know what I mean? And it's just like a big circle. So I would think that it would be set up something similar to that. So like if I'm playing defensive and another team is playing attacking, I should probably be losing that. Whereas if I'm playing a defensive and another team's ultra attacking, I should probably be winning that because they're going to leave space open at the back for us to counter. Whereas if I'm ultra defensive and they're ultra attacking, then we're not taking advantage of the space. So then they're just coming on to us. So I would think it would be like rock paper scissors, where like it depends on what both teams are doing.
Yeah.
But there's no way to know that. There's no way to adjust that. There's no way to test that. You just kind of have to roll with it, which
Vibes,
is why that's why I say I'll be defensive till I die, because I have there's no reason for me to change. There's no data or anything that I can make a different decision on.
All I know about ultra attacking is that when I go ultra attacking, I concede immediately. It's like, oh, you're Brew Braver made a change immediately. Boom, concede. It's like, oh, dang it, dude. That's the opposite of what I needed to happen right now. And then you go like what is it? It's ultra attacking, and then what's the last one? Like super ultra attacking or something?
No, that's just ultra attacking. It's attacking and ultra attacking.
Yeah, attacking and ultra attacking.
Yeah.
I've
not gotten a single result when I've been on attacking or ultra attacking at any point during the game. Not a single result the whole time. Even in Division 8, where I was one of the two best teams in the league, not a single result. Lost every game. Never did it, but lost every game. The only two times we did it was against the good team, and they beat us twice.
Yeah, I just go defensive against good teams, and it works. We played one of the teams that got relegated this season, and 0-0 draw, baby.
That's big.
Let's go. There you go. Big. There is no data. I think counter formation is a more important thing. I want to get into that so bad, but I'm just like scared to move things around because I'm like, I'm doing great right now. I'm treading water. I'm hanging out with the big boys. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's that's where I am. But I have noticed new formations coming into the division this year. So I don't know if there is like maybe meta. I don't really hang out in the Discord, but maybe there is a little bit of formation meta. I mean, it's like 3 in the back. I've ran into a lot of 3 in the back.
I've just seen 4-2-2-2 wing backs and 5-2-3s. That's all I feel like I play.
Yeah,
which kind of makes sense because like those are like very cheap positions for the most part.
Shout out to ZM, baby. Let's go. Welcome in. Yeah.
Sphere.
Look at that. People chiming in, people here. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things. That's something that I'll definitely be paying attention to this season. Just because, again, I'm not really switching formations yet, but I have been playing around with the tactics a little bit mid-game, trying to see if I can swing things in my direction.
So here's what I have been has been the key to me being successful: stamina. Keeping the guys completely green as long as possible has been huge. I've actually got a planning sheet now where I go, this is a game that I want to target, and how do I get my guys to be 100% stamina for this game, right? So I have my starting lineup, and I go, okay, I'm not going to play or train any of these guys the day before or whatever to make sure that they're ready to go. And that has been very successful. We got the 1-0 win today, largely because I rotated and they didn't, even though their team was better than mine. So their team was just more tired overall, and they have a few more 40s in here. But I brought in subs. Like the guy that scored was a sub that I brought on late in the game.
Nice.
And you can't see him behind Chat United. But he's on 95% for his stamina, because I just brought him in at the end. He nicked a goal in the 80th minute. Off we go. We're up 1-0. So yeah, that's going to be my plan, is just out rotate teams this year. See if we can, target some of the bad teams, like play starters against the bad teams on full health. Try to just stick in this division. That's the goal. I don't mind losing a few games, but I gotta stick. I gotta stick in Division 7. Maybe check that prize pool a little bit, but we'll see how we go.
No, yeah, I agree that I think that was the biggest thing that I did last season, was focus on stamina and rotating. Like you said, like just take the time to go through your entire league, see who has what, see who has better players than you, and then like that's exactly what I did. So like I know, especially right now, so I know that Noon Rangers coming up in 2 games is one of the teams that I really have to worry about. So right now, after the first 2 games, I rotated my starters, did some trainings, and then they're basically just going to chill for the next 2 games, so that as soon as that Noon Rangers matchup comes up in 3 days, like we're going to attack it full blown, because that's going to be crucial at the top of the leaderboard. So yeah, that's everything I've been focusing on, making sure that my guys are full stamina when those big games do come in, and hope for the best on the other ones.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. And I found, like, if you have a rested team that's not great, it's still good enough to beat a lot of the zombie teams.
Yeah.
So like very consistently. Like I lost 2 games and drew 1 last year. So realistically, there was one team that I couldn't beat, lost to them twice. The other 20 games that I played, I only drew once. So I think it was a perfectly fine strategy to kind of go with that. Now, as kind of the worst team in the league, or I guess I'm probably like 2nd or 3rd worst in the league realistically. Now I'm going to have to try and scrape some points where I can, and just see if we can kind of hang around. So I've already seen one team as a ghost team. So we play them in 2 games. So trying to really target this game with Winstall City, who's currently down here in the bottom. Trying to target them a little bit. Allrun City, I don't think I have a chance tomorrow. I think I'm going to get roasted. So I'm playing some of my young guys that I want to start to get some minutes onto. So I'm probably going to get roasted quite a bit this year. My goal differential is not going to be good, but I'm more worried about points than goal differential. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's one of the. I mean, you say that now, but dude, that goal differential is what killed me at the end of the season.
Yeah. But I mean, if I'm even on points with somebody, then I lost. It's fine. I'm gonna take all my other advantages and say I'm gonna beat somebody else by at least 1 point.
Coming from someone that lost promotion by that, it doesn't feel great.
At the top, it's a lot easier. Like you have to go more for the goal differential, because like neither one of you is going to lose a game. Like you're both going to win most of the games, so you got to like have a little bit of a differential. Whereas at the bottom, like everybody's going to lose games. So like just winning a game is going to, like, already you can see how much I've set myself apart from these other 4 teams. I'm already 3 points clear.
Let's go.
Which is huge. Like that, it's better to just get like the 1-1 as opposed to like 2 draws, right? So like goal differential, I'm -2, but if I had 2 draws, I'd be 0, but I'd be only on 2 points instead of 3. So like that makes a difference right there. So it's just picking and choosing those moments to kind of go for it. So it is a little bit different fighting relegation as opposed to trying to win the league.
Yeah. And like, especially now that we've kind of like gone through that, and there's really someone mowing the lawn right now this late at night. Welcome to Florida, baby. It is 7:30. Are you kidding me? I was going to say, we kind of went on that. So you got promoted. I didn't, clearly.
Yeah.
Shocking. How have you know? And we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but how have you noticed a difference in competition? Because I know
Yeah.
there are a lot of zombie teams kind of down at the bottom a little bit, but like now that you're up in the division, how do you feel like you can compete in that division now that you moved up? Do you have to buy more? Do you have to bolster the squad?
There's only one zombie team that I'm aware of so far. Everybody is, I would say talent wise, I'm probably the second or third worst team in the league. So I'm going to be right there on that cut if talent really holds out. I think the one thing I have going for me is I have 29 players on the roster, maybe even 30. Some of these teams only have 18, 19. So by the end of the year, they're going to be gassed, right? They're going to have nothing left in the tank. I'm hoping that I'm going to out-rotate some of these teams and win that way. If I don't, I'm just going back down. Like that's it. That's the key. Like I am not gonna stay up at this level. However, my team is so long-term focused that if I go down, I'm gonna dominate Division 8, and then when I come up in 2 years, I'm gonna dominate Division 7. Like my team is gonna be all 50s in, well, maybe not 2 years, but like 2-3 years, somewhere in that neighborhood. My team's going to be like mid 50s. There's nobody in this league that's competing with a mid 50s team. So I'm not really worried about the short term, to be fair. I'm more worried about the long-term development of the players, making sure we're profitable, making sure we're selling guys on in good times, making sure we're buying good values to be able to develop long-term. So I'm playing the stock market a little bit, playing the long-term. I do think eventually my team will be able to compete at a higher level. But right now, I'm not super worried about. I would obviously like to stick in Division 7 this year. But even if I go down, that just means I win Division 8 and I get a bigger prize. So it's fine.
There you go. It's like, oh no, I gotta go dominate the zombies again. Shocking. Oh no. Oh, Boston Sean's in here subbing his goalkeeper twice to get minutes, and it worked.
Huh.
Yeah, 3 zombie teams in Div 6 and
Austin
only one
Sean, you got relegated with 3 zombie teams in the league, bro. Come on. There's only one other team you had to beat. You couldn't beat anybody else? Man.
I gotta call out Austin
Div
Sean
7
like that, bro.
is serious. I don't know if it's just my league or if it's all Div 7, but Div 7 is freaking serious, man.
Well, like judging from the team that came down in my division, because the team that got relegated, I immediately looked and I was like, holy smokes. Like this guy has 5 bronze players, a whole bunch of other players that are in the high 30s. Just like this dude is stacked. And I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, the 2 good teams just left so that I could dominate. Then all of a sudden he comes this other team that is way better than the 2 teams that just got promoted. I was like, oh Lord. I was like, no. So I have my work cut out for me again this season.
I'm honestly a little bit surprised, but the team that got promoted with me got sold, and so it's all new players in here. And this guy like brought in this whole roster. It's kind of a shitty roster, but I think I'm better talent wise. But they beat me in game 1. I played all the starters, so they beat me.
Right.
So I was not happy about that, and then they beat somebody else. So only 21 players. I don't know how they're going to rotate. I feel like this team's going to fall off a cliff at some point.
Right.
But, I mean, they've got 6 points already. I mean, that's the question is how many points is it going to take to stay up? You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's early in the season.
I mean, last season, this league, it was 30 points to stay up, which was insane. The 4th place was separated from 2nd place by like 7 points.
Right.
Or not 4th place. The relegation spot, 4th from the bottom, was separated by the team that got promoted by like 7 points. All of those teams were right in a row, and they're all in the same league again this year. And I'm like, oh god, there's so many good teams in this league.
I will say, as nice as it is to have like a handful of zombie teams that you can kind of just throw away and then focus like around like the big like important matchups throughout the season. Like, I am kind of excited to move up the divisions and have one where it's like, oh, like there aren't 3 throwaway games in between like each important game. It's like, oh crap, like every game is important. I really got to sweat these decisions. And
I don't know if I like it. I'm basically conceding losses in some of these games because I'm like, well, I'm gonna go for some stuff, but I'm also like, we're still a long-term focused team, so I'm still gonna train all the guys. Like, I'm going to play guys that are in the 20s against guys in their 40s. Like, it's not going to go well sometimes, and I accept that. So we'll see. We'll see how competitive it is. But I kind of hope there's at least one team that's just like dominates everybody. Because that helps to like take some points out of the league, which is good. Like if I'm losing to them, I hope everybody else loses to them too. So I'm not falling behind. But there's definitely one team that's like, it's actually so rare Nick too, which is funny. There's one team that's just dominant. Like
that rare and all those.
How the heck am I supposed to compete with this? 32 players, all of them are bronze. Like this is a team that's going up for sure. This was a team promoted too. This was a Div 8 team last year.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Hey, I mean, if you got it.
League. But I want him to like beat everybody. Like, don't drop any points unless it's against me.
Hey, these server players are coming to Footium and starting to dominate. They're just buying like all these god teams over here. Hey,
a rare 17-year-old. Like, what a purchase for a Div 17 team.
Oh, that means he got it in his academy probably then.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, because there's like I don't remember the percentage chance, but there is a chance that you could spawn a rare player in your academy. It costs a pretty penny, that's for sure. But
yeah, he minted them.
Yeah,
6 days ago, 0.145 or 154.
Woo!
Wow.
But I mean, 17 years old at 54, man, that is a player that's gonna stick with you for a long time, buddy.
That's crazy.
If you had a rare player in your academy, would you go for it?
I'd find a way. Yeah, I'd sign him. Because I mean, at the worst, you sign them and sell them for more. Like they're worth more than the academy price is. So I would just sign him and then flip him. I flipped one academy player already. So yeah, I made $9 in day one.
Ooh, okay. Turning that profit day one, baby.
Baby.
And to Boston Sean's defense, he bought in halfway through and had 12 loans.
That's
and he
fair.
nearly stayed up.
I get you. If you're only playing half the season, I don't blame you. That's tough. But yeah, season 1 or season 3 for us was our first season. I made 40 cents in profit. Season 2, I made $2.48. So we're 500x that. So if I keep on that pace, by the end of the year, I'll make 4.1 million. So we're rolling.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call compound interest. Right?
And then I made $9 on day one. So I was like, oh, I'm rolling already.
Dude,
and then I spent it all. But
that year over year, man. Start calling them VCs now, baby. Be like, yo, we're cooking. Where's Ryan Reynolds at? Hey, we're getting promoted to the top, baby.
I'm down $4 this year so far. So I got to win a prize to make it back up.
That's true. I did win. So I won $20 season 4. All right. Pats on the back, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Y'all doubted. Nobody believed that I could do it.
You put that $20 back into the team. Team gets a little bit better.
I did. I got an academy kid. Some of it's still in my wallet, maybe in case I got to sign some free agents because you can do that. Who's this guy that I brought in? Got this guy from my academy. A little
Suleiman.
Yeah, a little 54 max rated, 77 stamina. Ain't the worst, but a little center mid.
That's gorgeous, especially for a Div 8. I didn't realize that as you go higher. I mean, I did realize that like the prices on academy players goes up. I did not realize how much it went up. It like doubled to go from Div 8 to Div 7. So
and you still profited on it.
That was probably better than any of the players that I got in my team, which is saying something. My academy pools have been kind of bad.
Yeah, the rest of my academy wasn't great. It was like all positions I don't use, like 2 left fielders, a left wing back, a right wing back, 3 left fielders, and then the 2 center mids, and then the center mids.
You're a baseballer at heart.
Left
forward.
Go Pirates, I guess. Whatever. He's on the left side of the field, okay?
Yeah, all of those.
And then there's 41 center mid, and that's the thing. Like, I want to be like you. I want to profit. I want to be flipping in the markets. Would any of these guys even potentially go for more than
Wouldn't sign any of them.
Yeah, like
wait, the center mid is what, 41? Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think you flip it.
It's like
Oddly enough, left back, right back are, I feel like, the most expensive position right now. Like my best academy player was left back or right back, and so I went to look at the price and I was like, holy crap, that's way more than a right ring back. Right ring back. Yeah, like those right backs are no joke, man. Like they're crazy. I flipped mine for $9 profit, and it was like would that be like $20 to buy? So
wow.
Yeah, I flipped it for like $30. He's a max 54.
Ooh, I guess that makes sense because I basically at this point I have 31 players on my roster right now. Like I have pretty good depth for the most part all over except left back and right back. Like I just have the two, and like they're both young with a bunch of potential that could be unlocked, but I can't train them because I'm like flipping them in and out, trying to rotate them and keep their stamina up. So it's like, so I've been in the market for a third in each position, and they are like way overpriced.
Yeah,
way overpriced.
Center mid is
good center mid,
probably second,
especially good center mids because there's a lot of bad ones out there. I love a 29-year-old 25 max or like, oh dude, I love those, man. It's like, sir, what is this supposed to do for me? Because I'm getting cooked out here.
So talking about that positionality, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna spend more on like a decent center mid so that everybody's like the same level? Or are you going to spend more on like a really great like right winger, let's say, that like the whole position is kind of cheaper, so you can get a guy that's like way higher than you could afford for the other positions, but like then your center mid's going to be like way worse than everybody else? What's your strategy with that?
So for me, it depends because I'm kind of focused on the long term too. So what I've been doing in the market, like I've been kind of focusing on young players with high potential. Mm-hmm. So it's like whatever gaps I need to fill, like if I feel like I just have some placeholder center mid right now, like I'm going to go for a center mid to where it's like left, like, dude, I have like 4 left mids somehow from like academies and like other things where it's like, I have too many and they're all like really great potential. So it's like, if I did bring another one, I'd probably bring in like a cheap, just placeholder so I could kind of train the other ones up. So it's like, it really just kind of depends on where, cause like right now I'm pretty deep and the positions that I'm deep, like they're not as great right now, but the potential for them to be great in like a year or two is so high that I'm just like, yeah, I'm just stacking like up to anywhere from like 40 to 50 potential, and just we are eating.
So what are the best players on your roster? What positions are they? Like the top 2 or 3?
Let's see. It's mostly center forwards, to be honest. Because
like
what is
right,
it?
Like right now rating.
Right now rating, I have pull this up. I have a 44 bronze Justin Day left mid, but he's going to age out soon. I have a 37 20-year-old with still 2 available potential right mid, which is great. I have a 34 Pedro Martinez, which is only 19. And a lot of these are like high max 40s, like into the 50s.
So why not sell Justin Day?
Because he has been...
Because he's so much better than everybody else in your team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he's carrying our attack, my dude. He's carrying because, like, look, left mid. So he's about to age out. So I'm like, hey, I could use him. I can use him right now for big matches while I train up the rest of them. Like Fernandez left mid, like he still has okay potential. Simone's a placeholder too. Where's Mesquita has some like decent upside too. So it's like he's basically the smasher right now while I train up the rest of my team. And I need more left mids.
Yeah, you got a lot of potential unlocked on these dudes.
Yeah.
How many times a day do you train?
It depends on how often I'm around. So definitely in the mornings when I first wake up before I go to work. Then I do usually by the time I get home after work, like middle of the day, I try to do another one. And then if I remember, I try to do it in the evening as well. And then again in the morning. So max 3 like rounds of, but at the same time, that's also while trying to balance stamina and trying not to kill myself in the ranking. Cause I'm trying to train and I'm trying to win at the same time.
See, I've gotten everybody down to. I mean, now Mike is at 4, but he's going to train here tonight. So I'm going to have basically everybody down to 3 or less.
Yeah.
I want everybody to have like 1 point available really before I train them, unless they're at 100% like Strum, because like 100% we're just wasting stamina. Like he's not rebuilding stamina right now. So
Yeah.
I'm going to train him up. But I'm trying to get like these guys that have a ton of available potential, like get them like trained so that they're like, when they play, they're like higher rated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like work these guys down so that there's not a ton of like I'd ideally like to have nobody with 3 available potential. Like ideally I want to train all of these guys at least one more time.
Yeah.
So like Solomon is not going to play again until he trains again, if that makes sense. Like
Gotcha.
he's going to recover until he's trainable, and then he's going to train. Like that's his next thing. Now, Ko and Owen, I have them in the starting lineup for tomorrow. Both of them because they have so much potential to unlock. So like Ko still has 21 potential to unlock. So I'm not necessarily super worried about getting him like all the way up to like 3. I'm more worried about getting him minutes and getting him started on the long road. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like not have anybody have a ton of available potential that they're just sitting on and just not using. You know what I mean? Once I unlock it, I'm trying to use it.
Yeah. And that's kind of, and that's where my struggle's been, and that's why I've been looking for more depth. Because like and you look at right here, so like this Tariq, I don't even have this position. Like he's a fill-in, so I don't even care to really train him that much. Because he's just kind of one of those. I literally throw him in at left back because he's a left wing back, and I just throw it in for like little zombie teams.
Well, why not train him while he's on 100%?
Because he's starting this week, the next game.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's in my rotation because then, like, if he's my left back, right? I have these 2 other left backs that are sitting at 34. They have a little bit of potential. I'm training one now, but it's like I've been playing the one, I'm training the other one, so I'm basically using him.
I would play Javier and train the other guy just because there's so much of a difference between, you know what I mean? So much of a difference between the potentials that you've already unlocked that you haven't trained yet.
What do you mean?
So instead of starting, who was the other guy? Was who?
Just the left wing back that I got, the random one.
Yeah. Instead of starting the left wing back and training Javier Jimenez, start Javier Jimenez and train the left wing back. Because like, look at Javier. Look at Javier. Look at how much potential do you have left to unlock. You can play this guy until the cows come home, right? You're gonna unlock. Like you just need to get him minutes. That's really the limiting factor on how good he is minutes. Like 2 potential is not like a ton. You know what I mean? So since he's on 100%, start him so that he's getting minutes, so he's closer to unlocking the next potential. And train your other.
Play. He's gonna play. Don't worry. He's gonna play.
I'm just saying the order of it makes a difference because it's easier to. You don't want to like run one down to 0 and then not be able to train him at all, and have to play him until you like. You know what I mean? You don't.
That's where I found myself. Because I'm starting to run into that position where I'm like, okay, both of these players need to unlock potential. I can't train them. But then that gives me the time to train other guys. I'm kind of just like rotating around the team.
I never want any of my guys to hit 0 unlocked potential. Like I really don't. Like the only 2 that aren't fully maxed out are these 2. And I bought both of these in the off season and they had 0 potential. So I'm unlocking their first potentials. So I want, like, even when they unlock 1 potential, they're still going to be playing until they unlock the next potential. And then I'll think about training at that point. The only exception being, like, if for whatever reason I'm not going to use the guy and he's at 100% anyway, and I'm not training anybody else, then I'll throw him in to get his last percentage point. I also think Strum is probably, he's like halfway up the thing to the next one. So he's not that far away.
I don't know. My thing is, like, I'm just trying to get the most guys at like the highest rating I can possible right now. And like they're all trying to get to the mid 30s. And that's where like I'm trying to get everybody at. and then I could worry about it. Like Correa, like literally ages out in like a year or two. Like, so this guy, he's just another fill-in too. I just brought in 3 of these center backs like middle of like last season. So I just haven't really had the time to play them and or train them because I didn't really have any. Like Jorge, I just brought in, and I've already trained him twice this year already. Like brought him in at 27, had some potential unlocked, and he was just like another fill-in, so I could really get like this PR and Antonio guy, like really cooking, and Carrizo too. Whereas like max potential isn't great, but it's already unlocked. So like if I could get him up there,
Carrera, you don't even really have to. I mean, obviously you want to train him he's
just a fill-in,
if you
bro.
can.
He's a fill-in, so I can train my other guys. That's what he is.
Exactly. You don't really have to focus on training him. That's the thing. I have like focuses. I have priorities.
Yeah.
And like, but I'm still gonna train the guys that are low priority if I'm not training or playing, the other guys that are higher priority.
Oh yeah. If I don't have anybody else to train with the stamina, I'll throw in like a random guy. Yeah. Like, even like the center forwards, like Hoffman, Page, and Garcia are all like 50 plus rated.
Yeah.
So basically I have Carl Rose who ages out next season, who's just a fill-in for bad matchups. And then I brought in Muhammad Gate.
Why are you no, here's my question. Why are you ever playing Carl Rose? Ever?
Yeah, when I rotate the entire team.
Ever.
And play like the C team.
No. Never.
I play 2 forwards, man. I need a lot of forwards and a lot of stamina.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Play those 3 forwards and play 2 of them a day and rest 1 of them a day. Like, never play that other guy.
Then what am I going to train him then? What am I going to train him if I'm just like rotating him in and out?
You just rotate him in and out and unlock. Like, unlocking is much harder than training. Much harder. You can
but
play
if they don't have the
every
stamina.
now. You can play him every now and then, but literally, I would say the first half of the season, you don't have to play him at all. You can just train him all the way up to his max. And just play those other 3 guys because the minutes are so much more important than the actual training points. And then once he's fully maxed out, maybe you play him like once or twice just to like give the other guys a little bit of a break. But
I want to win, Chris.
You're gonna win either way. You'll be fine.
Trying to dominate. I'm trying to get to Div 7 and actually win.
Boston Sean is right. You can start him at 75%. Like,
I don't like it, Chief. I don't like it.
Don't start him against the top team in the league, but like you can still start him at 75% against the bad team.
I got to train him and rest him before the big teams. See, I'm with Boston Sean. I burned more brain cells trying to figure out the minutes to unlock. See, it's just it's too complicated.
Like these guys, so like look at these guys, right? This is my best goalkeeper, like rating wise, but he's maxed out. So I won't play him unless it's a last resort. Like I'd much rather play my other goalkeepers.
Then why do you have him? What's the point of having him maxed out if you ain't gonna play him?
Well, I'm trying to sell him. That's the point.
Okay.
He's listed. No, but like I will have him to rotate every now and then if I get a training point in one of the other. But like goalkeeper, really, you only need 2 because like you can train and then just kind of flip back and forth between the 2. But yeah, I'm like trying never to play like Gonzalez and Okamura are both playing because I'm trying to rest all of my guys for 2 days from now. So I'm actually giving these guys some minutes. But that's what they're there for. They're there as just like a last resort. The minutes are the really important thing to give the guys that you're trying to unlock everything.
Yeah, it's like my keepers right now. It's literally a 34 and a 33 rated keeper, and they both have 4 and 6 potential, like ready to go. But it's like, when do I play him and when do I rest him?
Yeah, literally train
Perez.
Train Perez. Yeah. You're fine to start Pereira. By tomorrow, he'll be like 92%. You are fine to start to train the other one.
Where's that spreadsheet where you had all the breakdowns of the training and the stamina and how much they lose where? Because
if you train, what's he at? Where'd he go?
Marcos Perez.
He's at 88%. All right. So say you train 90%, you drop to 65, which means you're fully fully recovered in 3 days. So you've got 1 day until your next game. You play the other goalkeeper your next game, and then by the next game, he'll be a 90 again, and you can play Perez.
See, that makes me feel better. Well, that was the plan. He was going to be one of the next ones that gets trained.
Yeah, there you go.
After Jimenez gets trained.
You're on the right track. You're on the right track.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's just a back. It's like whatever. Like, I don't really think about it. I just like look what's there in front of me, and I'm just like, okay, who has the stamina? Who needs to get trained? And who's starting the next game? And when is the next big game? And whatever the facts tell me right in front of me is how I make my decisions. I don't need no spreadsheets. I just need vibes.
My rule is if they're not playing the next day and they're above 85%, they're in train territory.
Some of mine are. If I'm really trying to boost their training, like if they have like 6, 7 potential, yeah. Sometimes I'll just run them back to back immediately. And I'm like, all right, let's just get it out of the way, let you rest for a little bit, and then get back to the game.
At the end of last season, I back trained somebody and put them at 20%, and they got injured. But I was like, I'm not playing you for the last 2 games of the year anyway, so I'm just gonna back you. And now he's only got like 3 potential unlocked instead of 6. So
that's what I did with this right mid that's 37 rated. Like at the end of the season, I was like, dude, this has so much potential unlocked. I was just like, bam, baby. I was like, end of the season, don't need him.
End of the year, you throw stamina out the window and you just train everybody. It's great. I love the end of the year.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about tomorrow. There's no tomorrow.
Because like what I did, because I knew I was playing the top 2 teams the last 2 games of the last season. So I was like, all right, bet. So I like rotated all my starters super early on, like 2-3 games before. I was like, all right, bet. And then as soon as I swapped them in for those last 2 games, I just trained everybody I could, just like started chucking them in. And I was like, once I knew it was set, and I was like, well, that's the end of the season for that. Boston Sean Chimney, you recover condition at 12 per 24 hours, 0.5 per hour.
Yep. So if you train them down to 65, which is where you get to if you start at 90, they're back at 90 in like 2 days. Basically, training is 2 days. Just think of that.
Yeah.
Training is 48 hours that you're throwing away.
That's fine. That's fine. I haven't had a player get injured though. Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed.
Oh, the only people that got injured for me were the ones that I decided to throw into training at 45% because I knew I didn't need them the rest of the year. I haven't had anybody that was in the plans get injured.
But they still get the training and everything done. They're just injured afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you got injured during training.
They were injured. They were injured the entire off season, but it was fine. Like preseason camp started, they were back. They tore their ACL. They came back the next year, no problems.
It's fine. Ain't worried about a dang thing. Yo, Boston Sean, we're gonna have to get you on one of these shows here soon. If not a So Rare show, we're gonna have to get you on a Footium show. But yeah, Boston Sean hit us up the other day and he was like, yo, he's a big Footium pro now. He's big on the Footium streets. So happy to have you here.
We gotta find out what league he's in and see, because we figured out that you and I will meet in Division 6 if we both get to Division 6.
That's true.
So we got to figure out where Boston Sean is and get him in one of these leagues. I want a league that's just all Rare T-Gens.
Oh, that would be fun. Just to have like a whole like So Rare battle.
Like a Division 8, just like all So Rare people. League 23. All right, so we'll see you in Division 1, Boston Sean. Oh no, he's so far away from us. We're at the end.
We're little minnows at the bottom of a very, very big pond. No, dude, that would be fun. That would be cool if we could kind of do that. Just do like a league reshuffle. Be like, hey, because I mean, we can get So Rud plays. Obviously, Thomas MLS So Rare Scout plays. Like there is a good handful of Jack Sober. I wanted to get him on the show last week, but life has been a little hectic for me lately. So next week he should be on. He should be on the show next week. I just got to hit him up. That's right, Chris.
Next week. Right, Chris. Things will be different next week.
Oh, things are going to be a whole lot different next week, baby.
Be cold.
World travelers. Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that it would be fun if an entire league was up for sale, that we just all bought a team in that league and just went nuts.
That would be fun. We could talk to our homie Roland over there in the Footium streets. Be like, yo, Roland, let's do some things. We get some great content idea.
Or we just all get inactive teams. Yeah, we have to buy into it. We could just all get inactive teams, like amateur teams, and all get promoted into the same, like just have them promote them all into the same place.
Honestly, it's not a bad. Think of the content we could do. Just like weekly
Content,
roundup, just
bro.
like talking
Div
smack. Just
in Div 8, every game televised. Div 8.
some Div 8 sickos, baby. Live stream the entire slate
Every single
day.
game. We have both managers on live webcam every single week. Like that would be insane. We should. That's a great idea.
That's the dream.
Every live game that gets played, both managers have to be on camera for the entire thing.
All right, Chris, you're the director of important things. I need those emails to start flying. All right.
we got to make it happen. We got it.
Hey, maybe we will. Dude, I mean, Footium's fun, man. Like, I know the content ain't coming out as much as we want because, like I said, life's been a little hectic, but it will be coming fast, coming thick, coming real soon. Dude, I've like honestly, the amount of times that I spend out here late night, just like looking at the market, trying to snipe things, and just like looking at stuff, looking at my teams. I like the most exciting thing for me now is after matches, going and just clearing my team and then starting it over and seeing like where the stamina is and who I'm trading. Yep. Like I'm immediately excited to go like, all right, who's sitting, who's playing, and who's getting traded, baby. Like that is like, I don't even care about the game, whatever. Like I'm ready to look forward and make some moves. Like, yeah, the lineup building has been fun.
I go through every single person on my roster. Like, did you unlock a point today? Did you unlock a point today? Did you unlock a point today? It's fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. There are people who don't does the teams. Make a little offer. ETH is low right now, you know. that little crypto tokens are stretching a lot further these days.
I've thought about a second team, to be fair.
I have too, but that also means I have to fund a second team, which doesn't sound as fun.
Right. I need more profits to be churning out of Brew Ellis before we dive into a B team. But
that's what I'm saying.
Eventually, we will get there.
If I could, I don't know what it is, but I do think about getting a second team a lot. I feel like it just gives me a little bit more flexibility, which like lets me kind of just focus on some training a little bit more and focus on better players and kind of move. And it's just fun to scout. It's fun to scout players and look through and try to find some deals on the market and try to find the good players. And then think you found a good player until you check a stamina. It's like 53, and you're like, oh, everything else. I see why you're so low.
I found out. Oh, God.
Why is this guy 23 and 37 rated? Why is he so cheap? Oh, his stamina is 50, dude.
This is why. No, yeah, I think like there's only so many players you can have on one team before it just gets to be
a mess.
Not a mess, but just like not efficient, you know? So
I think the more players, the more efficient.
No. Because, like I said, unlocking is the hard part. So you can't have so many players that you can't unlock because you only have so many minutes to allot.
That's why you have players that just get you by that are going to retire soon and just play all the stupid minutes while you train the rest of them.
No, but see, the stupid minutes are the minutes. Like that's the key.
But the stupid minutes are just the 2 games that they sit down just to get back to 100 so you can then train and play or play and train. You need someone to fill in those gaps. They need a rest sometime, Chris. They need a rest sometime.
No, they do need a rest sometime. But when they rest, you have to be putting in somebody else who's also valuable. You know, like there's like
valuable
you can't put in
for good minutes.
You can't put in somebody for like a waste of minutes. Like you can't waste minutes. Minutes are the most valuable commodity. I'm telling you. Long term, like to get those 50 boys unlocked, you're gonna have to play them for like 7 seasons. Like play them consistently. It's like you don't want to be throwing away minutes. You want to just have like 2 of those guys that you got to play for 7 seasons.
So I play him for a whole season, switch him to my second team, train him the entire season, let him get hurt a couple times, then bring him back for the 3rd season and just dominate.
Kinda, yeah. Except you don't need a second team to do that. If you're going to train them, you can just train them in your main team. You know? You just don't play them. You just got to have
But if they're training, they're too tired to win me games.
Well, they're not playing when they're training.
Yeah, because their stamina's low.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But you got to have a fill-in who is also valuable.
Exactly. Carl Rose.
No, Carl Rose is not valuable. He's booty.
All right. Well, when I bring in more guys that are better than Carl Rose, that are also young, that also need minutes, will it make you feel better?
Look at how much non-fat there is on my roster. All of these guys, look at the ages. Like, there's one that's maxed out, there's one that's maxed out, and there's one that's maxed out. Other than that, everybody else is like fairly young, got a lot of potential still to go. Like, we got moves to be making here, people. Moves.
Yeah, well, you know what?
And we're still winning.
Sometimes you just gotta stack players, just throw them at the wall, and eventually they hit.
It's true.
The more the merrier. Someone says like this. Be like Boston Sean and post-it notes everywhere. Oh, his wife's already a sober widow. She thinks you're nuts, dude. You're not the only one, man. You are not the only one. There needs to be a little group for all these wives and women out here who are dealing with our nonsense and shenanigans. Someone kick up the Facebook group, all right?
That's
great. A Facebook support group for all us degens out here in the Web3 football space, because it is incredibly fun. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're playing MFL, Footium, so rare. Not NBA Top Shot, LOL.
Players Union. I don't care about the Players Union. Come at me.
Yeah, man. They're a little upset with you. Who is it? Who is it that got fired in the MLS because he ran his players too hard? Wasn't Nico Estevez, was it? No, it was your DC boy. What's his name?
Hernan Lozada.
Baby.
Yeah.
Channeling your
he didn't get fired because he ran them too hard. He got fired because they rebelled because they ran too hard. Like, the players just straight up rebelled against him.
You're gonna open up your crypto wallet one of these days. All your players are gonna be gone. They're on strike. All your digital player assets are gonna be gone. They're like, nah, this team's running us into the ground.
I'm going to Brew Braver, where we get to never train ever. Oh no.
You don't have the potential, man. What could I say? If you don't got it, you don't got it, bro. Get good, kid.
Good kid.
Either way, this has been another hour of Footium in the States, baby. Shout out to Boston Sean for holding it down in the chat. It is a great time to be alive. We will start, once life settles down next week, we will start bringing on a bunch of guys, because there are a lot of people. We've talked to some people on the DMs and a bunch of stuff like this, but we need to get them on the show. We need to talk about them. Clearly, they need to tell me why I'm right and Chris is wrong about training and playing Carl Rose.
Let's have a debate about Carl Rose specifically for an hour.
Oh, trust me. I'm going to talk about Carl Rose every episode now and tell you how great Carl Rose is, okay?
At this point, when he retires next year, you can't sell him. Like, you got to keep Carl Rose in the club for good times sake, for the vibes.
First face on the Mount Rushmore of Brew Baver.
That's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep guys in the club that have earned Mount Rushmore honors.
Club legends? Yes.
Yeah.
We'll make them a nice little graphic and everything. We'll get AI to chime in.
My first guy is going to be this guy. When he retires, bro started out with me as a 25. In 2 seasons, he's at a 36. And he's going to retire. I'm never selling him. He's going to retire, a club legend. He's already scored a bunch of goals. He's the starting striker now. When he started at 20 years old at a 25. He got +8 in 1 season.
Is there, and feel free to call me an idiot as there is there a way to see what a player's done for you for the club? Like how many goals he scored and all that?
So. I don't think so. That would be a very nice addition, though.
Pretty cool. Yeah, if you could see like the player been this many seasons, like a whole like stat breakdown each season,
minutes
how many
played,
goals
scored, assists,
whatever potential unlocked or whatever.
Red cards.
Yeah,
I would put the guy that gets the most red cards for the club in the Hall of Fame. You gotta care for the badge to get a red card, you know.
Oh. You want to talk to me about shenanigans? I am all about the shenanigans, baby. Give me all the shenanigan stats. I don't care if they don't matter. No, but that'd be really cool just to kind of like follow the history. Okay, Boston Sean believes they are working on lifetime stats. So
nice.
Maybe
Big.
I really should read that white paper. Maybe I should probably do that. It's out there floating somewhere in the metaverse. I should probably go read it. But either way, Chris, do you have anything else for these lovely Footium folks?
I don't. best of luck this season. Season 5.
Season 5.
Yeah. Keep thinking long term, boys and girls. Don't run into the short term shenanigans. Play the game, play the long term.
Slow and steady wins the race, baby.
Slow and steady.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
We're not going to spend all of our money on good players. We're going to develop players.
Oh, Moneyball to the moon, baby. We'll see you guys on the next show. Good luck. Win that cash money because it's easier than winning players and trying to sell them and then banking after that, baby.